Hello everybody and welcome to Error Debugging channel. Today we are going to cover data types in Python. A data type represents the type of data stored into a variable or memory. The data types which are already available in Python language are called built-in data types. The data types which can be created by the programmers are called user-defined data types. The built-in data types are of 5 types: none type, numeric types, sequences, sets, mappings. In Python, the none data type represents an object that does not contain any value. In languages like Java it is called null object, but in Python it is called none object. In a Python program, maximum of only one none object is provided. The int data type represents an integer number. An integer number is a number without any decimal point or fraction part. For example, 200, 50, 1, 2, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, etc. The float data type represents floating point numbers. A floating point number is a number that contains a decimal point. For example, 0.5, minus 3.567, 290.08, etc. A complex number is a number that is written in the form of a plus bj, where a represents real part and b represents imaginary part. There are other types also, like octal numbers, hexadecimal numbers and binary numbers, which we will discuss in future lessons. The Boolean data type in Python represents Boolean values. There are only 2 Boolean values, true or false, that can be represented by this data type. Depending upon the type of data, Python internally assumes the data types for the variable. But sometimes, the programmer wants to convert one data type into another type on his own. This is called type conversion or coercion. This is possible by mentioning the data type with parenthesis. In Python, str represents string data type. A string is represented by a group of characters. Strings are enclosed in single quotes and double quotes, both are valid. The bytes data type represents a group of byte number, just like an array does. A byte number is any positive integer from 0 to 255. The byte array data type is similar to bytes data type. The difference is that byte type array cannot be modified, but the byte array type array can be modified. Lists in Python are similar to arrays in C or Java. A list represents a group of elements. The main difference between a list and an array is that list can store different types of elements, but an array can store only one type of elements. Tuple is similar to list. A tuple contains a group of elements which can be of different types. The elements in the tuple are separated by commas and enclosed in parenthesis. Range data type. The range data type represents a sequence of numbers. The numbers in the range are not modifiable generally. Range is used for repeating a for loop for a specific number of times. Sets. A set is an unordered collection of elements, much like a set in mathematics. The order of elements is not maintained in the sets. It means the elements may not appear in the same order as they entered into the set. Mapping types. A map represents a group of elements in the form of key-value pairs, so that when the key is given, we can retrieve the value associated with it. The dict data type is an example of for a map. The dict represents a dictionary that contains pairs of elements such that the first element represents the key and the next one becomes its value. That's all for today. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel Error Debugging. And stay tuned for upcoming lessons and more fun with Python. Till then, take rest.